Welcome back to BWO Daily, your source for news in sports entertainment and the world of professional wrestling from you boys at Busted Wide Open. My name is Nick Howell.
And I am Sir Ian Dangerous, and today we have to talk about the fact that Matt Riddle has released a video where he admits to having an affair with Samantha Tavel / Candy Cartwright. Obviously, recently during the Speaking Out movement, we heard from Candy Cartwright that she was accusing him of sexual assault in the back of a van while they were having this affair. Matt Riddle at the time kept mum about the affair, but said that she was crazy and the sexual assault never happened. Now he's changing his tune, and he's saying the affair did happen, but that he's, quote, never sexually assaulted a man, woman, or anybody. And that includes Samantha Tavel, Candy Cartwright. I never sexually assaulted you. The story about that van trip and the driver being asleep and me forcing you to do stuff and hop on whatever is a complete lie. It's a fabricated story because you're still mad. So he now admits to this. He says that he was in the affair and started to feel bad, tried to break it off, admitted it to his wife, but that Cartwright kept coming after him, kept trying to follow him on social media, hit him up with social media apps, call his phone number, and that she wouldn't take no for an answer. Eventually started showing up at shows and going after his friends, saying, where is he, where is he? And that's what brought us to where we are today. So the he said, she said story continues. Riddle's wife has actually taken to Twitter. She posted a picture of the whole family saying that they're the Riddles. They are not perfect, with not in all caps, but that they are a united front, they are a family, and they will persevere. So they are taking a united front against this. I don't know, Nick. It was interesting to see that he took the tack of putting out a video in which there was no real acceptance of any guilt other than having cheated on his wife. But
it wasn't accepted of guilt. It was bold-faced, like, just, no, I did not in any way, shape, or form. And, you know, you guys have heard me say on the show before, Twitter's not the place for this kind of stuff. I'm not sure why it has become the platform for speaking out and other movements around the world, but I don't understand why everyone's motivation is to tweet about everything everywhere publicly. I mean, these are private affairs to be arbitrated and to be legally dealt with, and, you know, I just
the court of public opinion is a tough court.
It's impossible. Now, has it spawned some great movements? Has it spawned and brought courage and bravery to other victims and survivors to speak out? Yes. But to have this kind of back and forth on Twitter, I've seen it fail so many times and lead to worse things. And so I sympathize to the extent that Riddle made a mistake and paid penance with his wife and his family, but that doesn't exonerate in any way. I also sympathize with the fact that it comes across as if at least from his perspective, that you have someone that is acting out and leveraging a movement against you. And obviously that's not okay either, if that is actually the case. The problem, as you said, was that this is now he said, she said in the court of public opinion, and it's not going to end well for anybody. So
no, and unfortunately, we are never, I don't think, ever going to get to the real bottom of what actually happened, if anything happened, and if it did, whether it was consensual or not, whether this is some sort of revenge thing, or if this is actually a woman who was sexually assaulted who we should be taking seriously, which, you know, I want to, that's the point, is to take that seriously. Yes. So it makes it a very difficult situation, and it's the sort of thing where we may never know. But you know, he's thrown another wrinkle into it now by releasing this, and
none of us were in that van.
No, and even the people that were in that van apparently don't know.
Even the driver was asleep, apparently.
Who knows? But all we do know at this point is that it seems like it's going to be swept under the rug as long as no one keeps putting out any more pictures or videos. Of course, this video was actually, I think one of the reasons he did it was because Cartwright did release a picture of him and Cartwright kissing in a car that was dated May 2019. And so as a result, I think he's responding to that, and the fact that this seems like there was a lot of people still confused about what exactly happened. Well, now we have the full story for better or for worse, the dirty laundry has been aired. That being said, it doesn't seem like it's going to stop his push anytime soon. WrestlingNews.co says Vince loves Matt Riddle. Vince loves him some Matt Riddle. He actually loved his barefoot story about why he doesn't wear shoes. That it was Vince's idea to have Riddle go out and tell that whole story on SmackDown. And he actually wants to give Riddle more input to promos. And Vince actually, the report also says specifically that Vince sees him as a new Shawn Michaels due to his, quote, rebel quality. And if y'all lived through the days of Shawn Michaels, I'll tell you right now, whatever you think of Matt Riddle right now and anything that he may or may not have done, I guarantee Shawn Michaels did it times 10. And he was still with the company. So Vince will back his boys in those situations, for better or for worse. Shawn Michaels just better be happy there was no speaking out or Twitter back in the day. We'll leave it at that, but it looks like Matt Riddle's position in the company is secure for now. Yeah. In other news, OVW wrestler Tony Gunn, 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 sound familiar? That's his real name, but he apparently received a cease and desist letter from Billy Gunn, Mr. Ass, to stop using the term The Gunn Show. Now, to clarify, it looks like he may not have actually received the cease and desist letter. It was being reported everywhere that he did, but that was because fellow OVW wrestler Ted McNaylor went on the Monday Locker Room show with Ben Hameen and said that Gunn had received a letter. Gunn later clarified that he said that he had been told, he'd been informed through the grapevine that he couldn't use it, but never said that there was a letter specifically. He only said that he had been told that someone on a, quote, bigger stage or bigger platform had said he couldn't use it. Basically, it sounds like one of his friends heard this story and gave him a telephone, said on a podcast that Tony Gunn had received a cease and desist letter, when in fact Tony Gunn had just been informed by fellow wrestlers, hey dude, Billy Gunn owns that, you can't use it, and things blew out of control. The story got out there that Billy Gunn was sending C&Ds for the name Gunn, which is actually Tony Gunn's name, and things blew up from there. Tony Gunn also in his interview said he cannot now use his merch, his entrance music, catchphrases, or his identity he's built for 3 years after 15 years of trying things out. He finally found something that worked and says, now I can't use any of that. But he says it's my fault. It's not anybody else's fault, which seems to be going at odds with saying that someone else is saying he can't do it. So the bottom line is if the reports are out there that Billy sent a cease and desist, he did not. His wife, Paula Sopp, took to Twitter and told WrestleZone that it doesn't exist. The Gunns are actually, on their end, they have been spending thousands of dollars trying to trademark their name and all associated properties with it, and they have been for a while. Billy's actually been using the term Gunn Show at WWE and on the Indies for 25 years. So she came to his defense there as well.
Well, I mean that's the law right there. If you can prove you actually don't even really need a trademark. You know, I'm going to be armchair lawyer for a second. I've been through this a time or two, so I feel I can speak pretty confidently on it. If you can cite sources to where you were using that first or before this individual that you're trying to C&D, you can actually get that done without a trademark. So it's, at the end of the day, it really depends on how committed are you to protecting that name and that property, and it sounds like they're pretty committed. So Tony Gunn, the best thing you could do is try something new, in my opinion, because you're not going to win that fight, unfortunately.
Yeah, and actually Billy's wife said Tony should have reached out to us and talked to us as a professional, and we could have worked something out. Instead, he went to podcasts, social media, and wrestling dirt sheets. As a professional, whether it's owning a business or a wrestling name, you have to protect yourself and your identity. If you've been around longer than 5 years in the wrestling business, you should know that. If Tony doesn't want an actual letter from our attorney, he will cease and desist the defamation of Billy. We wish Tony all the best with his wrestling career. Damn.
Yeah.
That's ice cold. Tony,
you just got future endeavored by Mr. Ass's wife.
To his credit, Tony did respond on Twitter saying he admits there's no C&D. He's actually trying to get that taken down. He's trying to squash it right now.
Yeah,
so
good for him.
It seems like all of this will end peacefully. Yeah. But just to counter any news out there, Billy did not send a cease and desist. Tony Gunn is bummed he can't use the Gunn show, but he understands there was a gun in the game before him. Yeah. So that's the news, Nick. Quick happy birthday to Marcel Barthel. You may know from Ring Conf and Imperium. He turned 30 today. So happy birthday to Marcel Barthel, and that's everything for the day, Nick.
Well, thank you very much, Sir Ian Dangerous. Happy birthday, Marcel Barthel. And I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of BWO Daily talking about trademarks and cheating scandals. I love it. I love it. Juicy, spicy news today. Make sure you get into our Discord. You can find links to that and all of our other social media down below. And make sure, finally, that you pound that subscribe button and got your notifications set to all so you get notified anytime we put up a new episode of BWO Daily or go live on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern and every Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern. But my name is Nick Howell. You can find me on Twitter at DataCenterDude.
And I am Sir Ian Dangerous. You can find me on Twitter at Sir Ian Dangerous.
And we will see you guys next time.